everybody fits in.
Maybe a tiny bit. That's so weird. It didn't.
Welcome Concordia and welcome our guests online. Today is a special day, Labor Day, and we're celebrating love and life. And please join us for our first song, We're All Coming Together.
Good morning. I'm Gates. I'm your host today. Nice to see everyone. Harmonium means harmony, where many hands and hearts come together as one. Our mission is to provide spiritual tools for a personal and global transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Our vision is a world that works for everyone. Oh, I love that. Global magnificence, everyone. Special welcome to our first-time guests. You'll receive a packet that has a little magazine in it, our spiritual magazine, and some information about us. If you have any questions, just ask your greeters or anyone here. And we welcome you. Welcome. So I just want to call attention to the connection cards, the pink cards in front of you. And, oh, I got one right here. So there's a list of your name and information if you'd like to be receiving our newsletter. And also there is the back, especially where if you have a prayer and you'd like to write it down, this will be collected when we do the conscious giving later on in the service. And anything you're interested in, it lists on many activities on the back. You can just check it out. Or if you'd like a personal prayer, it can be called, or our email is always open to you, prayer@concordiacsl.org. You can do that anytime during the week, and our team will answer you. So in my next step, it says in the corner, this week I will be on the Wings of Love by. And so what would you like to do for yourself that will get that flow, which is already inside of you, flowing and moving throughout the week to sustain and support you. So put those in. All right. And after service, everyone's invited downstairs. I saw a lot of goodies coming in, so there is many, many snacks and tea and coffee, and we'd love to have fellowship with you. So, I think that's all. And so let's just take a moment, rooting down and just relaxing into your seat. Allow yourself to be supported and knowing that the divine presence is here, supporting always, guiding always, creating this experience of love in this circle, the sacred circle this morning, where each and every one that is seeking will receive whatever it is they need. Oh my goodness, I'm so thankful for this morning, for this community. And I know that each word will be met with a mirror of God flowing back. And so this circle of love continues. And I give thanks. Together we say, and so it is.
I see you for the light that you are. I see you for the love that you are. I see you for the light that you are. I see your light. I see your love. I see who you are. I see
soften your breath. Allow yourself to become present in this solemn moment. Feel the seat supporting you, the air filling your lungs, the rhythm of life and spirit itself moving through you. And as we center our hearts, we release the busyness of the week behind us in all anticipation of what lies ahead. Right here, right now, we rest in the stillness of spirit. Now let us enter into a moment of silence. Out of this silence, we awaken to the presence, the love, the life that is God. And from this place of quiet awareness, we move into our prayer. I recognize that there is one infinite life, one presence, one power, the living spirit. This divine intelligence is the source and sustainer of all that is. It is love expressing, creativity unfolding, and wholeness revealing itself everywhere. I know that I am one with this infinite life. Each one here and those joining us online are a perfect and unique expression of this spirit. Born of love, made of love, and eternally sustained by love. There's no separation, no distance, only the one life living itself as us. So I affirm and declare that this Sunday service, this sacred gathering, is a labor of love. Every word spoken, every song sung, every prayer lifted in spirit is moving through us as us. I declare that love is the motivating power behind all that we do. Love is the source of our health and vitality. Love opens the doors to prosperity and the experience of enoughness. Love opens our hearts, deepens our sense of connection to one another. Love inspires us to share our gifts with the world with joy, freedom, and a sense of divine purpose. I know that any old beliefs of limitation, lack, or separation dissolve into nothingness from which they came. What rises in this new place is a great awareness of truth, that we are divine beings, fully resourced, fully supported, fully loved. And as we enter into this sacred ceremony, we open to the message that Reverend is the Spirit. The Spirit's presence in our lives. With gratitude overflowing, I give thanks for the truth revealed here today. And I release this word into infinite love, knowing that it is already done. It is so. And together we affirm together. So it is.
Thank you, Frank. That was beautiful.
Mm.
Oh, open to the love. All right, so it's now my pleasure to introduce Reverend Bill Marchiony. Reverend Bill Marchiony is a co-founder and spiritual director of New Thought Philadelphia. He has been a practitioner since 2002, received ministerial credentials in 2011 from the Emerson Theological Institute, and earned a Doctor of Divinity degree in 2020. He's the author of Practical Prayer for Real Results, a great book. I just want to plug it for him. It's a great book. The creator of God Calls and co-host of the Practical Prayer podcast. Reverend Bill is also the administrator of the affiliated New Thought Network and co-chair of the annual ANTN retreat at Unity Village. So let's welcome Reverend Bill Marchiony.
Thank you so much. It is wonderful to be back at Concordia, and very appreciative for Zoom, which is going to save me a drive home on 95 back to Philadelphia. And the thing I want to say to you is something that is said to me on occasion, which is, enjoy your workout. When I go to the gym, that front desk is checking me and says, enjoy your workout. And it's wonderful and refreshing. That's because I'm there for a workout. And when you take those words and you break them down, it's work and joy in the same sentence. And the talk today is labor of love. It's in celebration of Labor Day weekend. And the reason I bring that up is because there's something to it. There's something about doing the work for the joy of doing the work. And it's really wonderful when we get to do the work for the joy of doing the work, even if it's for no pay, because that is something that uplifts us, something that brings goodness and richness into our lives in a new and wonderful way. So in celebration of Labor Day, I have the question for you is, do you have a job? And if the answer is yes, you have a job, then the question immediately becomes, why? Why do you have a job? And the reason that I ask that is because a lot of people think that I have a job because I have to have a job. Everybody has a job. You need to have a job, right? Gotta work. And sometimes the reason that we're doing our work, doing our job, is to fund our lifestyle. And this is kind of abstract. This is something that was brought up to me when I went from working for other people to running my own business. And as somebody who's running my own business, I can either do the business to fund my lifestyle, to pay for the stuff that I want to buy and cover my expenses and feed my family. Or I can use it because I wanted to build something bigger. And there are a lot of people who have built big businesses, large enterprises, which go on to do tremendous things. And sometimes it's a business, and sometimes it's an organization, and sometimes it's a church or a spiritual community. And the question becomes, in all of those, why are you doing that? Why are you running a business? Why are you doing a job? Are you doing it to fund your lifestyle? And most people have a job because they need to pay bills. And that's okay, there are bills. That's absolutely something that we need to attend to. And sometimes it's because we want to advance ourselves, and sometimes it's because we have a gift that we want to share. So you have a gift. You do have a gift to share. And the opportunity when we're doing our work, when we're laboring, is to share that in a way that's going to be helpful. Now, it might be helpful in bringing us an income, and it might also be helpful by moving the desires and the mission and the objectives company or the organization we're working for ahead. And when we can do a couple of those at the same time, it's awesome. And sometimes the gifts that we have come together in a way that is unique to us, that lets us do something wonderful and bring something unique into the world. So in addition to all of the other things that I have done in my life, and you've heard a bit of the description in my introduction, I have some pretty serious technical skills, and I always have. I had a handyman business when I was in high school, and I kept on doing that through college to basically help fund my lifestyle, because I like to have a little extra money around. And when I got to college, I went to NYU, and there was a guy, a fellow student, who got the contract to put pinball machines, an entertainment system, in the dorms. And he found out that I was technically adept, so he said, "Can you maintain the pinball machines and the video games?" Now this was back in the late 70s, early 1980s, when pinball machines were big mechanical things with mechanical relays and all the moving parts, and there was a lot going on inside of them. There was nothing digital whatsoever. And it turned out that one of the big things about making a pinball machine work properly was keeping it clean. Now that's still the case. You need to keep the top of it clean, so otherwise the ball will get into a rut. But the underneath parts, the contacts and the switches and the little relays in there, all needed to be kept clean. So I spent a lot of my time cleaning the parts on the pinball machine. And it turns out that I was okay at it and fit in with my technical skills, and I could do that to support the mission of making the pinball machines work. So a number of years later, I was working for a company that was in the digital printing business, and we actually moved into the digital printing business. One of my colleagues, very technical as well, more technical than I am, very good software guy, Steve, had a different set of gifts and skills and talents. So one of the products that we were selling and supporting was a digital color printing press. And this is back in the days when they were new and very complicated, and it took somebody with a very highly developed set of technical skills in order to run them. And they sent Steve out to the office in Chicago so that he could learn how to run the printing press. And he got there, it's like he knows how to do all of the technical stuff to get the files ready and manage the computers and all the rest of that. And he gets there, and the first day they say the most important thing to do with these printing presses is to make sure that they're clean, because otherwise the toner spatters all over the inside of the machine and it ruins the output. And they got out their number one tool, which is a vacuum cleaner, a very fine-grained vacuum cleaner that you can vacuum laser printer toner with. And Steve was not a guy who liked cleaning. That was not part of his skills and gifts and talents. It didn't work for him. So he immediately ran back to the hotel and said, "I'm not doing that." And he went back and got on the phone with the boss, and the boss said, "No, you give it another try. It's not going to be that bad." And he goes back the next morning, and the next session is about how you can really deep clean the machine. And he spent the rest of the week in a hotel, refused to learn how to work the machine because it involved doing something that wasn't in his skill set. Went on to be very helpful for the company in a lot of different ways, having to do with databases and programming and supporting the sales staff, but it had nothing to do with vacuum cleaners. And I say that because when we find ourselves with a job, with a task, with an obligation, with a commitment that doesn't fit with the gifts and skills and talents, that doesn't feed us internally, there's going to be some conflict. The good news is we can dive within and understand what those gifts and skills and talents are, and then allow the infinite to help us find a way to share them in a way that's going to bring uplift into our lives and into the rest of the world. I have had the best job in the world about 9 different times throughout my life. Different careers, different things, different companies, different organizations, different objectives. But all different ways that I got to share my talents with the world. So, cleaning pinball machines was one of them. When I was at NYU, I got into radio, and having technical skills, I became the engineering director of the NYU campus radio station. And the station was in New York City in the late 70s and the early 1980s, and new wave was was getting to be a thing. So our afternoon show was like the premier opportunity for people to hear the newest music. We had connections with the folks in England and in Europe who were bringing the music into the States. We had access to the record stores. We had people who were paying attention because we were in New York. So it became a hub for that. And in the summer of 1980, I got the opportunity to build a brand new broadcast studio. Because we had an old-fangled one, and I built this a new-fangled one. And I could have half-assed it. I could have done an okay job and put the pieces together in a way that would work. But I made it be a project that would be worthy of the station that we wanted to be, and the kind of environment that I wanted to create. So I built this studio, and I spent the whole summer doing it, and it was wonderful. And it was set up in a way that there was room for the DJ, who was basically running the show, and then across from him, there's a little bit of space where you could fit a guest. And I went in one day, and in this wonderful studio that I built, that sounded great, that was really comfortable to be hanging out in the afternoon show, and there in the space for one person for the guest were the Go-Go's. And they were just starting to happen. And there were 4 or 5 of them sitting in there, a manager or whatever else. And into this little space, and having a wonderful time, and connecting, and doing what they do, and letting the DJ do what he did. And this was an environment that I created as a labor of love to move the mission forward. And it was just so uplifting to see it happen. And speaking of labor of love, the DJ wound up dating the drummer and the Go-Go's for quite a while. So the gifts that we share and the things that we're involved in change from time to time. And they don't just change the activities that we're involved in, they change the environment that we're in, and they change the world. Mm-hmm. So if you didn't need a job, what would you do? Now, a lot of people, especially people who are eligible to retire, find that they get a volunteer job. They find a mission or a passion, a way to share their gifts and skills and talents in a new way that might be as much activity and as much work as they were doing when they didn't need a job. It turns out, if you do the arithmetic, there's 1,440 minutes in a day. And everybody's going to use all 1,440 of them. We're going to be doing something. Now, we can be out and active. We can be doing a job, collecting the garbage on behalf of the municipality. We can be planting our garden and growing vegetables and flowers. Playing games. We can do anything that we are guided to do with that 1,440 minutes. And if you could do anything you wanted with that time, what would you do? What would it be that you would do with that time that you could do anything that you wanted? And keep in mind, it's not like you have to choose something that's going to make some money or something that's going to be uplifting. It's possible to do both. It's possible to have those pieces come together so that the work that you're doing is a labor of love. And when somebody else finds it to be valuable, you get a paycheck for it. So as I mentioned, it's Labor Day. We're talking about labor of love. And I just want to do a side note that Labor Day, and people think that the celebration of workers. And actually, it's a celebration of the labor movement. And the labor movement came about because 120, 130, 150 years ago, the tycoons were building industry, and they had employees working for them, and they tried to take advantage of the employees. And the employees didn't have any individual rights, and the tycoons, since they had a lot of resources, were trying to push them around, and doing a very good job with it. And then the workers got tired of that, so they decided they'd fight back. And we had things like lockouts and wildcat strikes and violence in both directions. And so the government stepped in and created the National Labor Relations Board, which has said, here's how we're going to have a fair fight. So you might have in your life seen a street fight or a bar fight, and you've also seen a boxing match, and they're different. And mostly the difference is that everybody agrees to the rules and there's a referee. So the celebration of Labor Day is about that we have agreed to fight fair. That we have agreed to engage with each other in a way that's going to allow the rights and requirements of everybody involved to be uplifted. And that's the macrocosm thing of what's going on for us as well. So everybody who's involved in that situation has something that they want to accomplish. The businesses and the business owners want to build a successful business. The workers want to be able to share their gifts and talents and skills in a way that they get compensated and get to support and fund their lifestyle. And your could be our just as easily because everybody is involved in the same process. And we turn it from a job into work, into a labor of love. There's an opportunity for something new to be coming into experience. The other time that the word labor comes up is in childbirth. And I know about this because my wife has been a childbirth educator for the last 30-something years. And when she started, she was teaching childbirth classes in our living room. So I got to be familiar with the childbirth education process up close and personal. Then she started working for hospital systems and she would go off and teach childbirth classes there. And I wasn't particularly exposed to them. And then the gifts of the pandemic happened and everything moved online, including my work as well as hers. So I have heard enough childbirth classes in the last 5 years to be able to basically teach one. And some of the things that I know is that in that process, in preparing for childbirth, in preparing for labor, there's a lot of anxiety and tension and fear and concern about what's going to happen, how's it going to feel, how am I going to deal with it, how am I going to be prepared, what's going to happen, etc. And nobody says, I'm just going to change my mind, I don't want to do it. Because it's a labor of love. And then when the child is born, mom actually goes into labor and has an extenuating circumstance of bringing that new life into the world. And something that I've noticed is that every mom has a story. Every mom can tell you a childbirth story. And in fact, there's a childbirth story for every birth. And they're all different. And that's okay because that's a transformational moment. Not only are we bringing something wonderful into the world, it's not an easy process. There's a bit of mystery that's attached to it. There's a bit that isn't known ahead of time. So it takes some energy and some attention. And bring something brand new, a new human being into the world. So is it worth it? Yeah, I think it's worth it. And the question for you is, what are you birthing? What are you bringing into the world? Is there something new that's coming into the world through you? Is there something, and it doesn't need to be some grand, big, huge something. It is possible to decide that what we're going to do is we're going to bring more love into the world. And we can do that with a little spiritual practice, where we get ourselves centered and grounded and surrendered. And just decide that we're going to look everybody that we see in the eye and acknowledge to ourselves internally, I am looking into the eyes of God. I am looking into the eyes of God. And just do that with a feeling of love in your heart and see what happens. That's a way of sharing ourselves that doesn't involve having a job, that doesn't involve having a plan. It just involves having a practice. And that becomes a labor of love. And the fun thing is, something will change if you do that. If you go from not doing that to doing that, then something will change. And it'll just be interesting and fascinating to find out what that is. Let me know. Let me know. Because I'm interested. I love those stories of when her spiritual transformation brings something different. So what are you working on? What do you want to be working on? What are you sharing yourself to do? I am absolutely blessed. I'm on successful, happy, joyous, best job ever, number 9, of working in my ministry. So I am able to do an inspirational talk like this. I do weddings. I have a spiritual community in Philadelphia where I teach classes. I found that at the very beginning of the pandemic lockdowns, spiritual practice was required. So I started hosting daily meditations, 8 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the evening on Zoom. 15 minutes, really short. Group gets together, we talk about what's going on for us. We do a meditation, and we're done by quarter after. I'm still doing it. They're free, they're no charge. I have a meetup group where people are able to find the information about that. There are 2,500 people in the meetup group. It's a labor of love. It's an opportunity to be in spirit and share that. It's an opportunity to grow spiritually myself by doing the work. And that's spiritual work. And I do a podcast, and my partner on the podcast talks about spiritual growth as work. She says there's work to do. And that's transformation. That's about letting go of what's happened in the past and opening up to something new. So maybe there's some work that you get to do. Maybe it's spiritual work that you get to do internally. Maybe there's some forgiveness that you get to do. Maybe there's some amends that you can make with somebody else. Maybe there's a story that needs to be told or addressed or apologized for. I'm also the administrator affiliated with Thought Network, and that's a part-time job, but the volunteer part of that job is as one of the co-chairs of the annual Anton Retreat, which is a Unity Village this year, and pretty much every year for the last bit, the first week in October. And it's growing and growing and growing, and it's a lot of work. And it's worth it. It's worth it to put all of the effort that we are all year long, and starting in the middle of August, it's a lot of detail work that needs to be done. Because when we get there, it feels like a family reunion. We've set it up so that the people who are participating, it's going to be about 200 this year, can get together and connect with each other and go deep. And it's wonderful. And it's wonderful. And it's worth it. And a quick plug for the Anton Retreat. Registration is still open. If visiting Unity Village, which is right outside Kansas City, is something that's on your bucket list, then it's a wonderful way to get two in one, because Unity Village is spectacular. And I just got to say that Unity Village is not on your bucket list, then you need a bigger bucket, because it is a spectacular place. It's the largest property in New Thought in North America. And it feels different, and the love is amazing there. Finishing up the plug for this year, and you can also take part online. There's a virtual version. It's going to be hybrid as well. Because one of the speakers is Sonny Control Smith, who's the spiritual leader of Centers for Spiritual Living, along with a lot of other noteworthy folks who are going to be there. And in the audience participating virtually is your old friend, Reverend Ian Teller. So it's an opportunity to do something. So, and if it feels like work, don't do it. And if it feels like a way to be fed, or to share, or to give, or to connect, then go ahead and do that. There's spiritual growth that's available. If you are completely jam-packed with your 1,440 minutes every day, you couldn't possibly do another thing. And you don't have time to meditate. And you don't have time for prayer. Then meditate. 5 minutes. Maybe 10. Maybe 15. See what happens. And the meditation can be as simple as getting yourself still, listening to your breath, and when the thoughts come through telling you that you should be doing something else, say, thank you, I'm going to pay attention to just breathing for another 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And just be present with yourself. And the rest of the things that you have to do will fit themselves into the 1,435 minutes that are remaining. And it's possible that the more time you spend meditating, the easier it is to accomplish the other things that are going on. It is work to do that spiritual growth. It takes practice to have a spiritual practice. But by golly, is it worth it? It is a labor of love. And on this Labor Day weekend, let us celebrate the fact that we have an opportunity to do the work, to be the love, and invite something spectacular into being. Thank you so much. What a blessing it is to be with you.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you, Reverend
Thank you, Reverend Marchiony. That was amazing. Amazing. Okay, stand if you're willing and able. We're going to step on into your power.
all of this into practice. So we look forward to seeing you Wednesday nights. John and I will be your hosts, and we look forward to sharing this experience with you. So see you there. Thanks. Any questions? See us downstairs.
Thank you. Next, Pam?
Yes.
Hey everyone, Pam's away this weekend, but I just want to let you know that there is a fall equinox ritual ceremony coming up on Saturday the 20th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. here. It will be outside, weather permitting. And Pam writes, we will ceremonially move into the dark time of the inner unknown, embracing the balance, renewal, and power of the equinox time. And her theme this year is, I am the light shining in the darkness is you. So we hope you'll join us. If it is outside, weather permitting, bring a chair, a blanket so you're warm. It might get a little chilly, and we will be around the fire. Next slide. Yeah. This one's me. So I'm leading a workshop the end of September 27th. This is Saturday morning, and it's called The Fire Within. And this is a sacred workshop for women and their anger. And I think many of us have learned that our anger is wrong, or that we shouldn't be angry as women. And this is a place for us to come together in circle to honor that as a messenger and as a sacred power, really, the power within us. It is a $65 workshop. You can go to my website, elaineblaze.com, or you can go to the Concordia newsletter or the Concordia website. It's on the calendar, which you can get all the details and sign up. And if you want more information, I will be downstairs.
And breakfast.
So, as always, we host a breakfast every second Saturday of the month for the men in our community and any of your friends and loved ones. We welcome you to join us 9 o'clock downstairs in Fellowship Hall, second week of the month. And the next one, we don't have a date, but not sure what the second one is. But nonetheless, we just program it on your calendars if you're so interested. We break bread, we freshly cooked meals. Brian Fisk and I host the men downstairs, so please join us for that. 13. All right. So this is, we have been meeting as a leadership team, and the leadership team includes our practitioner corps and our leadership council. We've had a series of meetings. We had a retreat over the winter and summer that one of our leadership council members led us through, Laura. And from that has emerged desire by the leadership team to really solicit input from the community. As many of you know, we've been without a senior minister for about a year and a half plus now. And we've done a beautiful job, I think, of assembling speakers to come every Sunday and deliver a message. But as we've done so, we've also had some struggles in terms of containing our message and then creating kind of a more unified and growing community. So we've decided that one of the best ways to solicit feedback from community members is to host a series of meals, potluck meals, and we're going to be announcing this in our newsletter. We'll have sign-up sheets downstairs starting next week. But essentially, there's a group of us that are going to be hosting the meals. Starting on September 23rd, there will be another one on the 24th, 2 on the 27th. They're both dinners and lunches. These are primarily weekends, but the objective is really to create intimate spaces for people in the community, friends of the community, to give us feedback so that we can start shaping a mission and a vision for Concordia moving forward. And these infinite meals will allow us to ask a series of questions and solicit input from all of you. pulse survey that we will be publishing and mailing out via our newsletter. We're going to have access to it on our website, and we're going to have a QR code that you can basically take a photo of it and open up the link to this survey. And the survey really is intended to give you a series of options and thoughts in terms of where you want Concordia to move forward in the future. This feedback is immensely important for us as we shape our vision and our mission moving forward as a community. And we really welcome all of you, particularly members and visitors, attenders, to start giving us some of this feedback, because that will shape the direction we go in the coming months and years beyond. So look out for the newsletter announcement. Look out for the sign-up sheets downstairs in Fellowship Hall, and for the access to the survey, the QR code. We're also going to be setting out links. We're going to be sending out emails. We're going to be kind of broadcasting it to as many means as possible so that we can get a robust set of feedback and messages from the community so that we can help shape our beautiful, beloved community moving forward. So we look forward to your heartfelt feedback as we move forward. Thank you.
And just a little clarifying, there is a sign-up sheet already downstairs for the dinners, and someone from leadership will be at the table to help.
Moves us into our next piece, which is conscious giving. And I invite the leaders to come forward, but know that there are a number of ways that you can contribute to the Concordia. This event, the classes, the things that are happening, the events that we're organizing, happen through the hard work of a lot of folks, and it also costs money. And it's a labor of love, exactly. And we're here on this podium gifting our talents, and we ask in return that you provide some sustenance to us to continue to create this beloved community for you all. And there's a number of ways you can do it. In person to our greeters, they're going to be coming around with a basket. You can contribute cash, check. You can also fill out the form it's a donation card, and you provide all your information, credit card. Once you use your donation, we destroy that credit card, so it's kept confidential. There's also a QR code that you can scan and give money that way. You can go online to Concordia CSL, to the Conscious Giving link, and also contribute that way. You can also text to the number listed up here.
401-466-4454.
Thank you, John.
My favorite way.
And so, as we consider how we hope to contribute, let's share in the conscious giving a prayer together. Divine love, as we bless and multiply all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. So it is. So I'll pray us out. I know that as we gathered here, we received some beautiful gifts. Reverend Bill's beautiful message of labor of love, and to really center into your hearts as you move through this world, knowing that it's love that guides us. It's love that connects us to both each other and giving. And I know that as we leave this sanctuary today, we leave with that beautiful message in our hearts, in our minds, in Spirit guiding us. And as we move into our next activity, whatever it is on this beautiful summer day, we do it with that grace of love and the gift of the message that Reverend Bill has provided us. And I'm so grateful and thankful to have been part of the service, knowing that we were fed these beautiful words.